and welcome to Lamplight Crochet. Today I'm going to show you how to make this large adult hat, and you will need an 5.5 millimeter hook. You'll need a yarn needle and a pair of scissors, and this should go pretty easy. I made this out of single crochet only, and this hat is made from bottom to crown. Okay, let's begin. Okay, when we begin this hat, we will be using an eye hook and a 5.5 millimeter. I will be using Red Heart Super Saver medium worsted weight yarn in the color called Fleck. And this kind of hat, this ribbed hat, is made in just a rectangular piece, and I have used just single crochet in this hat. Whenever we reach the right dimensions, then we will be folding the hat in half like this. And then the person who wears it is able to turn it up if they want to. And we will be gathering the top of it together and sewing it. So this is how this kind of hat is formed. Also, I want to point it out to you that this hat is made and crocheted across the width. Okay, so now I'll show you how to begin this. We want to wrap the yarn around our upper two fingers. Place the hook underneath the bottom piece and pull the top one down in. Tighten the yarn on the hook. We wrap the yarn around our hook and pull it down in.
And we need 45 chain. When you reach 45 chain, I'll meet you back here.
Okay, you should now have
45 chain
on the hook. I have only made 18 because I'm making a swatch that's a little smaller. Now we're going to do this a little different than normal. We're going to turn the chain over on the back side and find the bump that is sticking out from chain 2. Okay, we're going to place our hook underneath that bump, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, and do a single crochet. Now once you've done that first one, your chain will have flipped itself over and you will see all of the bumps of every chain. So you're basically working down into the back side of the chain. And the reason why we do this is to make a very even bottom. I'm going to place my hook underneath the next bump, wrap around, and pull through 2. Okay, next one. And so we'll do this until the very end of the chain. So go ahead and finish your chain up by placing the hook underneath the back bump and working across the chain the entire way. We'll see you at the end. Okay, now that you have single crocheted in the back bump all the way across your chain, we're going to chain 1 at the end and turn. Now, in order to create the ribbing effect that we have in this piece, as you can see, it looks like valleys and mountains all the way across. Well, the way that we get that is we crochet in the back loop only. In a pattern, you will see it written as capital BLO. So the way we determine what a back loop is, we're going to turn our work and look at the V-stitch across the top. Now what we're going to do is place the hook down underneath the back loop only of it, and then do a single crochet. Okay, the next one, we turn and look, and we place it under the back loop only, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2. So we're not going in the traditional way, which is under both loops. Instead, we are just crocheting under the back loop only. Now, if you do this row after row, you will have a ribbing effect. So I want you to finish this row by crocheting in back loop only, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, we're at the very end of the row, so we want to chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to do the exact same thing across this row
and up until row 59.
So basically, you know what to do at this point in order to finish the rectangular piece of this hat. We're going to go down into the back loop only of each stitch in order to create a ribbing rectangular piece. So just continue to do your work across each row in the back loop only and chain 1 at the end, turn, and continue to repeat that. All right, we'll see you at the end of
59
rows. Okay, I finished up. So I went to remove my hook, and let's stretch this piece out and look at it. We now have a rectangular piece for our hat. And at this point, I'm going to leave a lot of end on my last bit of yarn there. I'm going to leave at least 3 feet. I'm always a person that likes to stay on the safe side and have enough yarn. All right, so I'm going to leave at least that much space and cut that, and then just pull it on through. We're going to sew with this piece that we've just cut. Now, the next thing to do is to decide which side you like best. So whichever side you like best is the side you're going to fold in. So I'm going to fold this in like this. Now, I want to mention that there really is no right and wrong side. When you turn your work, each row, each side is exactly the same. But I happen to like the color display on this side, so I'm going to turn it in because now we're getting ready to sew the hat. Now I'm going to turn the hat on the side like this. We're going to thread this yarn onto a needle, and we are going to sew up the side. This bottom here is going to be the forehead part of the hat, and this will be the top gathered and sewn here. But for right now, we're going to sew along the edge. So I want you to turn your piece, match up the edges, stitch to stitch, and we're going to sew along the top. Basically, it's just sewing along the edge, stitch to stitch. So go ahead and sew along the edge of the hat, and as soon as we finish that up, then we'll be able to work on the very top. So I'll see you when we're ready to work on the top. Okay, I have finished joining the 2 sides along the edge here, and so now my yarn is still at the top. I don't want to cut it, it's still on the needle, and I'm going to turn the hat to the top. I'm going to go in and out of the back side in a motion that will cause it to pull together like a drawstring effect. Okay, so you are just going to choose substantial places within the yarn that you can drawstring this hat together. So you want to work in and out to cause a drawstring effect with the yarn. See, as you pull the yarn that's already been sewn, it will drawstring it up. Just weave your needle in and out of the yarn, in and out, until you get all the way around, and we'll see you at the very end. Okay, I have woven the yarn in and out all the way around the top so that now I have drawstringed it as tightly shut as I can. And the best way to secure this is to just cross over and sew the hat closed so that it will be secured tight. So just make crossover stitches from one side to the next. And so to secure it top, this will be the inside of the hat. And as soon as I'm finished sewing this, we'll turn it right side out. And I'll show you how to make the cuff on the bottom of the hat. And then we'll be finished. We'll see you in just a minute. Okay, I've turned it right side out, and I have formed a cuff around here. And what you would want to do is just go ahead and sew that around the entire thing if you want to sew it. I don't think I'm going to sew this one. Some people like theirs sewn, some people don't. Thank you for joining me at Lamplight Crochet, and
don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you back here next time.